Shadow the Demon Part 3, Gotham City, New Jersey, July 2003. In the lair of Tito Dacca, he was showing his henchmen a new invention he had worked on, a giant version of his neutron gun, and he says to the men, "Well, gentlemen, unlike its little brother, this gun has 10 times more firepower, but unfortunately, I need more radium to power this one," he says to his henchmen. And then he says to one of the men, pointing out to him, saying, "Fletcher, tomorrow you and your men will go to Newark and you will steal radium from the Colton Energy warehouse." And then Fletcher asks, "Dr. Dacca, I never heard of that place." And then Dr. Dacca says, "It's a warehouse that stores a lot of elements used in nuclear weapons and to power space probes." He says, "They have everything there that you need. Everything from uranium to plutonium to radium." And Dacca says to Fletcher, "Don't worry, I will go over the plans with you later." And then someone comes up to Dacca in his laboratory saying, "Excuse me, Dr. Dacca, I think we may have a breakthrough on that missing neutron gun." And then he shows him the Gotham Gazette, and he shows him an ad in the Gazette that says, "Found, bizarre gun, unknown origin. If this is yours, please come and claim it at 1519 Harrison Way, Tri-Corner Island, Gotham City, New Jersey. Come after 8 p.m. And Dacca says to his men, "So, the Batman thinks he could lure me in with a simple trap. He's such a rank amateur." And then he turns to Foster and he says, "Foster, tonight you and your men go and get the gun back, and please do not fail." Foster acknowledges and leaves. And then Dacca dismisses the meeting. After the men left his laboratory, Dacca goes to the far end of his laboratory, and there was Martin Page caged up in a small cell. And Dacca says to Martin, "So, Dr. Page, are you going to join our organization or not?" And Martin says, "No, Dacca, I will never join your organization. You can imprison me, you could try to torture me, you can intimidate me, but you're not going to get me to join your Wild Eye organization." And then Dacca says to Martin, "Well, Dr. Page, time is running out, and when you see how my lobotomization works, you'll change your mind. And I seriously hope you do, because I do not want to destroy that brilliant mind of yours, Dr. Page," says Dacca. Suddenly, a red light and buzzer goes off in the laboratory. And Dacca says, "I must go." So Dacca goes to a room in his hideout that had a big display screen, some controls, and a bank of computers. Dacca sits down on the chair in front of the control panel and presses a blinking button. As soon as he does that, the display screen turns on, and right before him on the display screen was a tall black man with a magnum mustache connected to a goatee. And Dacca says, "My Lord Ra's al Ghul, it is a pleasure to be speaking with you." And Ra's al Ghul says to Dacca, "How is Project Skyfire going?" And Dacca says to Ra's al Ghul, "My lord, Project Skyfire is going very well. I do have some minor troubles with a mass vigilante named Batman and his young assistant that goes by the name of Robin." And then Ra's al Ghul says to Dacca, "I don't want to hear excuses. I have been tracking Batman's career for years. He is an amateur. You should be able to take him on with no issue." And Dacca says, "Yes, but he's proving to be a resourceful amateur, and luck seems to be on his side. He keeps foiling our operations." And Ra's al Ghul says angrily, "I don't want to hear excuses, Dacca. You get rid of the Batman problem and get Skyfire on track." And Dacca says, "Yes, my lord." And then he ends the video call. Meanwhile, at the office building in Tri-Corner Island, it was a bizarre office building. It had a very unique architectural design. It looked like something out of a Tim Burton film. Well, in the 15th floor, there was Bruce Wayne, heavily disguised as a middle-aged man, and Robin was with him. And Robin says to Bruce,
"Do you think this trap's gonna work, Bruce?"
And Bruce says to Robin, "I hope it will, hopefully, To tell you the truth, I'm starting to have second thoughts about this myself, but it's too late now. They'll be here in any minute, says Bruce to Robin. And Bruce says to Robin, alright, buddy, just go and hide yourself, and if you hear me in trouble, you know what to do. Soon there was a knock on the door. And Bruce, disguising his voice, says, come in. And Foster and a couple of his henchmen enter the room, and Foster asks the disguised Bruce, good evening, sir. We're here to come and collect our missing property. We saw your ad in the paper this morning. And then Foster asks the disguised Bruce, so, sir, where is our toy at? And then the disguised Bruce says, toy? And Foster says, yes, it's a new children's toy we're working on. And the disguised Bruce says to Foster, a children's toy, huh? But don't you think using radium is a little too dangerous for a children's toy? And then Foster quickly reaches in for his coat and pulls out his pistol, and he says to the disguised Bruce, alright, buddy, enough of the run around. I don't know who you work for, if you work for the Batman or the police. Either way, where is our missing ray gun? And the disguised Bruce, feigning fright, says, Oh, sir, don't shoot. I don't know where it's at. I just was asked by a man in the bat costume to do this. He was going to pay me $500. And then Foster says, oh, I should have known, Batman. And then Foster shoots the disguised Bruce in his chest 2 times. The disguised Bruce falls on the floor behind the desk, and then Foster screams at his men, find that gun and let's get out of here. Well, as they were doing that, suddenly Robin runs into the room, and a fight begins. But the bad guys quickly overpower Robin and knock him down. Then Foster says, the gun is not here. Let's just get the heck out of here now. And then Foster and his men ran off. Then Robin gets up and he quickly runs over to the disguised Bruce and he helps him up. Bruce says, oh, Lord, thank goodness for the Under Armour. Despite I got shot point blank in the chest, the Under Armour held, but it still hurts like heck, man. Feels like I got punched in the chest 2 times by Mike Tyson. Meanwhile, downstairs by the street, Foster and his goons get into an old Chevy pickup truck and speed off. Then the Batmobile pulls up under remote, and Robin and the disguised Bruce Wayne emerge from the entrance of the building. The Batmobile's doors open up, and Bruce and Robin get in. Then Bruce Wayne takes the Batmobile off autopilot and floors it. Soon a high-speed chase was on. As Bruce was driving, he begins to pull off his disguise. He yanks off the gray beard, pulls off the gray wig, and he begins to pull off the latex makeup, revealing his youthful 22-year-old face. And then Bruce says to Robin, oh, that's much better. I can see clearly, he says. Soon, the Batmobile was about to catch up to Foster's truck. As the Batmobile was catching up to Foster's truck, the men on the bed of the pickup see it, and one of them pulls out an AK-47 and begins to shoot at the Batmobile. Of course, the bullets have no effect on the Batmobile's armor, but Bruce Wayne decides to slow down a little, and then he activates the laser. He targets the right rear tire of Foster's truck, and then he presses the trigger, firing a laser bolt at that tire. Of course, the tire blowing out like that at high speed caused the old truck to flip over. Of course, no one had their seatbelts on inside the passenger cabin, and the guys in the back of the bed were also not secured. So everyone was killed in the accident, except for Foster, who was ejected out of the truck since the driver's side window was rolled down. He moans and then gets back up and limps back all the way to Daka's hideout. Meanwhile, in Daka's hideout, in the main reception area where his desk and meeting table were, Daka had a trapdoor near the entrance that was open, and inside the trapdoor was an alligator pit full of alligators, and Daka was feeding them raw meat. And standing behind Daka, holding the basket full of raw meat, was one of his zombies. Then Daka says to the zombie, "You can go away. I'm done feeding my pets." Then Daka walks back over to his desk, hits a button, and the trapdoor shuts. Later, Foster comes back. Foster was bruised, beaten, and his clothes were torn. And Daka says, "Foster, what is going on? It looks like you've been in a bad accident." And Foster says, "Yes, Dr. Daka, I've been in a very bad accident. All the men are dead." And Daka says, "That is very unfortunate, Mr. Foster. It's very hard to recruit good help." Then he asks Foster about the neutron gun. And Foster says to Daka, "No, we did not get the neutron gun. The neutron gun was not there. It was just a trap of the Batman. He had paid some guy to be there. I shot the guy, and then Robin attacked us. We overpowered the little wimp, and we ran downstairs and got in the truck. It was then that Batman came up in his special car and shot my right back tire, and then I lost control since I was going fast, and, well, you saw the results." And then Daka says, "Mr. Foster, this is very unfortunate that you let yourself be defeated by a rank amateur like the Batman again." And then Foster says angrily to Daka, "No, Dr. Daka. It seems that Batman is a professional. The rank amateur is you. You're just a two-timing scientist who has delusions of grandeur. You just got bored and you wanted to play criminal kingpin. And you did a good job for a while, but it shows that you really don't know anything about organized crime. You're just a two-bit phony, and I'm done with this operation. And you can count this as my resignation, you bastard." And then Foster walks away. And as Foster was walking away, he was walking over the trapdoor, and Daka presses a button, and the trapdoor opens, and Foster falls to his death in the alligator pit. Then Daka says aloud to himself, "What a shame. Foster was a very good man. Oh well. It will be very challenging to find a replacement with the same level of experience and expertise of the late Mr. Foster," said Daka aloud to himself. The next morning at Wayne Manor, Bruce is served breakfast in bed by Alfred. Bruce sits up on his bed and starts eating his breakfast of fried eggs, bacon and sausage, and soda for his caffeine. And he turns on the TV in his bedroom, and then Bruce sees on the news that in New York there was a robbery at the Colton Energy warehouse where the thieves killed several security guards and took 2 cases of radium. Of course, Bruce pauses eating when he realized that they took radium, and he thought to himself, radium. That weird ray gun I have is powered by radium. I wonder if it's connected. Well, then Bruce gets up, he begins to brush his teeth and get ready for work. Then Dick walks in and says, "Hey Bruce, I saw on TV that some guy stole some radium. I had an idea maybe it was connected to the guys who probably built that weird ray gun we have." And Bruce says to Dick, "I was thinking the same thing, Dick." And he asks Dick, "So what are you doing today?" Dick says to Bruce, "Nothing. I was just going to lounge around the house all day." And then Bruce says, "Excellent. You can go down to the Bat Cave and use the Bat computer to see if the warehouse has a computerized surveillance system, and also see if you can hack into the Newark Police Department's computers to see what they have on that robbery." And Dick says to Bruce, "Will do, Bruce," and then leaves his bedroom. Well, it was far from over for Batman and Robin. We will see in the next chapter what Daka has planned for that giant neutron gun, and what will Batman and Robin do to stop him. Like and subscribe. The end.